What I did was set him up to fail in my mind. They're like, this is my fantasy of who I think you should be, who you are, who you've shown me to be. But then I 10x'd it and he didn't know. And people go, oh, Coach Fatimah, you making excuses. You did. I don't need to make excuses for him. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, in this video, I want to address another awesome topic, something that needs to be talked about because we don't discuss it often as women, and that is creating this fantasy husband. What I learned about creating the fantasy husband, especially the fantasy husband prior to polygyny, is that you're holding him possibly to a standard that he has no idea of. I did something similar myself with Coach Nazir. I had put him on a pedestal as far as he's very good at protecting. He's always been very good at protecting me. Very good. I can't say enough about him in that regard. And when you've been knowing and loving someone since you're 14 and I was 15, that's a long time to love someone and value them. So, but with that being said, he did not have any idea of who I created him to be in my mind and in my imagination. It was my goal as a wife to marry a man that looked nothing like my father or my grandfather. I didn't want the man that was shifty and waffled back and forth and just was consistently inconsistent. So when I decided to marry Coach Nazir, I said, no, he's consistently consistent, and that matters. But when I was young, I had someone that was bullying me, I'll say. He was, I had someone that was aggressive towards me. And that aggression stopped when I began my journey with Coach Nazir. And because of it, and because of my youth, because I was so young and so tender when I became married, and prior to that, I had put him in a place that he never asked to be in, and he never belonged.
Just want to give you all a heads up on my group coaching. I'm so excited about it. So many of you have asked about it. And if you're on a wait list, make sure that you sign up to be on my wait list for group coaching by visiting coachfatimah.com to register for that. It's so exciting. I have so many different things to share with you all. If you want to level up and meet the champion within, please join and become a part of the wait list. I'll see you guys soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
He never belonged in that space. So my grandma said, well, Humpty Dumpty and fell now after polygyny, after he married again. And I said, oh, what does that mean? She liked to throw shots because she didn't like Islam. She didn't like that I reverted to Islam. She didn't like that I married so young. So many didn't likes because she felt like it was going to hinder me from doing something great. And OPR is one of the greatest things that I've ever done and been a part of. And I'm humbled by this work because I get to meet and work with so many awesome people. And I get to hear their stories and help them through their sadness, through their struggle, through their joy. I get to celebrate their achievement, their accomplishment, their love, their marriage with them. Not in the same way, but it's very fulfilling work. So she didn't know I was going to be Coach Nazir. I didn't, Nazir, I'm not Coach Nazir. There I go. She didn't know I was going to be Coach Fatimah. She didn't know he was going to be Coach Nazir. And that's okay. She didn't need to. It was in me. And I had to find a way to pull it out. So I enjoy this work. And it's valuable to me to bring people together. I like campaigning and being a champion for people. I like to challenge people because I like for them to reap the reward and see it through, and it just teaches me and it helps me become more too. So, anywho, for those of you that care about all that, I needed to say that and share that. I'm grateful for those that are supportive. I am grateful for the courage that others have to share their story. That's why I share mine. I'm inspired by so many. So, anywho, I put him in a place. And when I put him on that pedestal, my aunt told me something. She said, you need to let him know you put him there, and then you need to release him from it. Because in high school, he, just like now, he had this strong presence, different values, different purpose. Of course, hindsight is 2020. But he still had that intensity and that passion for those that he loved. That has not changed. It's just more precious now because there's an embrace of Islam around him. And I love that. Anyways, I really had to understand it because she knew she met Coach Nazir's uncle and married him when Coach Nazir was 7. So she had been in his life a long time. And I met her when I was about 18. And I'm not 18 anymore. And she said, well, then you need to let him know you did that, and then you need to set him free of it. Because what I did was set him up to fail in my mind. They're like, this is my fantasy of who I think you should be, who you are, who you've shown me to be, but then I 10x'd it, and he didn't know. And people go, oh, Coach Fatimah, you making excuses. You did. I don't need to make excuses for him. I don't need to. Because his stats, his pattern of behavior has been consistent with me for a very long time. And to my children and my co-worker for a very long time. But I've been here longer than all of them. They know that. Nobody needs to tell them. They tell me. They celebrate us. We celebrate them. We're a family through and through in every sense of the word. So with the knowledge that I have now, I can look back and go, yeah, he didn't even know where you had him at. He didn't even know that certain things bothered you because you appeared as though they didn't. Oh, my poker face is legend. Those that know me, it's legendary. But all this stuff might be going on up here. But this, stoic. Sometimes that's very hurtful to oneself because the people that love us have to almost interview us to let the information flow. I'm usually not that person, but there have been some instances where I've been that person, and then it's hell trying to figure me out. But what I love about it is I take ownership of it. And I said, well, no, I don't want my loved ones to have to figure me out. So I say what I need to say. I ask for constructive, loving criticism. And then I work on the area I need to work on. But some signs that you might be creating a fantasy husband is he has no idea of your innermost values and desires in a husband, even though you might have married him. You might not be able to have the hard conversations you need to have. You might have looked at men or siblings or your parent, your grandparent, as the poster boy for the wrongdoing. And then you go, this one will do right, and this one will do what I need him to do. So when the fantasy husband is no longer a fantasy, then the human quality shows up. Now, he could be the man of your dreams, he can be a walking, living fantasy, but it has its limitations. That has its limits. And we shouldn't go past. I can't make y'all do nothing. But best practices for best results is not to elevate someone so far up that they can't have room to evolve into someone else. Now, if there's someone else in there healthy for you, let's get it. If they're evolving into someone that is negative or abusive towards you, let's get rid of it. But you have to get to the point where you exhaust every effort, start labeling some things based off information and not emotions. Understand when someone is harming you mentally, physically, spiritually, and if that's truly what is going on, because it goes on. There's men that prey on women, especially in polygyny. They pick them like daisies. And we don't do that. And if we see it, we call it out. Oh, I have no qualms. I have no difficulty clearing air, getting folks together, gathering it up, speaking straight, telling someone what it is. Really quickly, you all know our family's traveling. And really quick, this cab driver was trying to get my attention. And I speak a small amount of the language we're at, and I don't think he knew that. I mean, maybe he didn't mean any harm, but he kind of tapped my shoulder to get my attention, and he said, sister, in his language. And I just turned around and said, don't touch me. But don't touch me, though. You send up a smoke signal, you do whatever you need to do. Just, keep your hands to yourself, bro. And even a shout out to him, because he was trying to be helpful. He knew I wasn't fluent in his language, but I had to set a boundary. So that's just really quickly what I do and what I'm about. So understanding that creating this fantasy husband, understanding that has its limitations, understanding that we're figuring out who we are, but we're trying to do that. We're not going, well, I'll figure out who I am one day, but until then, y'all gonna have to deal with this me. Because then some people go, well, I don't want to do that, because that you is hurting me very deeply. And we need to have a conversation. But if you go, well, no, this is who I am. Y'all knew this going in. This is what it is. Letting go of control is important. Letting go of the ego is important to the health and wellness of any relationship, especially marriage. Especially marriage. So, if I can offer any advice, understand that building a fantasy husband has its limits. Letting your husband know what your values are, sharing them, listening to his, supporting one another, being honest, being compassionate, living in kindness is so priceless. Because how much more time do you have to get it together? You don't know. You don't know. So, I'll let you all know. Let the brother have the human quality. Let him know, I know it's a mistake, or I know it's not easy, or I know you're learning. They have a learning curve too. They have to process things too. The husbands do. They have to have room to move. They have to. Because they do not belong to us. They belong to the Creator. And I have to say that. I'm a practicing Muslima. I have to say that. That's important. Because if they belong to us, we can just snap our fingers and make them do whatever we want them to do. But we don't get that privilege. We don't get that right. So, see to it that you're not creating this fantasy husband that'll never let you down And he'll never make a mistake, and he'll never be human, because you are setting your spouse up to fail, especially, and he doesn't even have any idea what's going on. So I shared my fantasy husband with Coach Nazir. I let him down off that pedestal that he never asked to be on. It can happen, especially when you get married very young. You think, oh, it's the husband, the kids, the husband, the kids, education, maybe, the husband, the kids, education, maybe, and some friends. You don't realize it's happening sometime, but when you can call yourself out on your own stuff, you can go back and fix things. So I fixed mine, but thank God my late aunt told me, okay, you created that in your mind. He didn't know. Free him. Wise lady. Miss her. Okay, guys, make sure you guys are following us on our social medias. You hit the like, comment, and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell as well so you know when we're uploading. Also, with our socials, we're Outstanding Personal Relationships on Facebook and YouTube, and Outstanding Relationships over on IG. I hope that you guys go over there and visit us as well. And if you're interested in our coaching, we'll leave more details about that in this video. So I'm going to leave you guys with a little GLC. And in the comments, so before I do, let's put free the fantasy in the comments. Okay? That means you release that fantasy husband, release him, but you can still have your dream husband, but it comes with limitations, and so does he. Okay? So with that being said, make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I'm once again Coach Fatimah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways Outstanding Personal Relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and also Clubhouse under our names.
And make sure you go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and sign up for our email list. And there you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
Absolutely. And last but not least, when it comes to coaching or counseling, if you want to work with us one-on-one or in group settings, make sure you're on that website and reach out to us, because we do have very limited spots and we usually have a wait list. So with that being said, GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.